Hello to the world and to the kingdom citizens. I greet you in the precious holy name of Yeshua Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, who said in his word, John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Hi, I'm Dr. John Curry, Ambassador, Pan-African, and welcome to the kingdom of heaven on earth. I trust God that you will enjoy this podcast. The podcast is entitled, Looking for My Father Again. It comes from the archives of what we've done in the past years. I trust God to enjoy it, and I trust God that it will be what it needs to be for you and in your life. Let us watch it together.
Hello, I'm Pastor John Curry, here with a friend of mine, Ms. Joyce Smith from Leslie-Based Community Center and Emerson Park. And we're delighted to be here today because we're going to talk about a very, very crucial issue. And that issue is fatherhood and how fatherhood plays in the home, how it plays in the community, how fatherhood can basically begin to bring our young men, young boys up to strong men, which can begin to lean into more community programs and community efforts. So right now I'm going to ask for my friend, Ms. Joyce Smith, to just kind of give you some background on herself and what her program is all about before we move into our program today. Joyce?
As he said, my name is Joyce Smith, and I'm with Leslie Bates Community Center. Leslie Bates is a faith-based community center located in East St. Louis, and we serve the greater East St. Louis community. I am a director of one of their programs, providing a Sure Start program. The mission of our program is to help families with young children become stabilized, good parents, and self-sufficient. In an effort to do that, we developed a program for the young dads. They may be living with the children. They may not be living with the children. They may be high school students. But in an effort to make sure that we're able to help that child holistically, we have started providing services to the young men of these children. The services encompass many areas. We may do things as simple as getting them identification. We may get them reunited with their family. We may even get them to be able to see their child for the first time. But those services are done as a part of a mission. Leslie Bates is not just an agency. What we do as employees, it's a mission with us. And it's based on what God expects us to do for those people that we serve. We have a great many young men that are very fortunate because they've been able to see that there's so much out there for them. All they had to do was just ask.
Well, praise God. As you can see, a lot of work is getting ready to get done, and Leslie-Based Community Center is doing a great job. But we're going to deal with something today that's very, very intrinsic to the heart of most young men that are growing up today, and that is the subject matter for today is going to be this: looking for my father again, which means we're going to talk about core issues. We're going to talk about the pain. We're going to talk about why am I so angry, why my father never called, why he never visited. We're going to get into the core of the pain of these young men today. So you definitely want to stick around, and we trust God that it will bless your heart and bless those that are going to watch this video. God bless. Hello, I'm Pastor John Curry, and we're glad to be here today to be able to give you what we believe that God has given us to give you. And that is the message of looking for my father again. Yeah, that's what I said. Looking for my father again. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot of core issues to go into today. And one of the main things that I noticed as when I was growing up is that my father was never around. My father had never done anything for me. My father never bought me a pair of shoes, never bought me a pair of socks, never bought me a suit, never went to a game with me, never tossed a ball with me, never done anything with me. So I grew up with a lot of pain, a lot of anguish. And I really wanted to get violent with my father. But thank God for a loving mother that told me everything I needed to hear so I wouldn't strike out against my father. And I have some guests with me today, and they're going to be able to share with you, I believe, some of the anguish, some of their pain, and hopefully we can come up to some kind of resolution on it. Before we get to that, I just want to remind you that a father is a person that is willing and able to be able to take care of his seed. You know, there's only two roles that a man's going to play. Number one, he's going to play the role of a father. And number two, he's going to play the role of a husband. Two roles, father or husband. A man in his natural state is a progenitor. The word pro means to support. Genitor means generation. So he would support his generation. We're going to consider 10 functions of fatherhood. And we're going to talk about those, and we trust God that they're going to bless your heart. Before we do that, we're going to go around the horn here real quick and have these gentlemen to introduce themselves so you can kind of get to know them. And then from there, we'll move on into the topic matter. We'll start right here with this young man here. Just introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Michael West, from St. Louis, 18 years old.
My name is Rafez Dale. I'm from Cokia and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Rufus Stevens. I'm from Development Corporation, Emerson Park.
Tyrone Reading, 47, from Belleville. My name is Lamar Brown. I'm 20 from East St. Louis.
My name is Cleo Folks. I'm from East St. Louis. I'm 20 years old.
My name is Donnell Fountain. I'm 20 years old, and I'm from East St. Louis.
My name is Dwayne Robinson. I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois, and I'm 21 years old.
My name is Jeffrey Whitley from East St. Louis, Johnny Shields, and I'm 16.
My name is Frank Bash. I'm 26, and I'm from East St. Louis.
I'm 46 years old. My name is Ernesto. I'm from Belleville.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and thank you for being here today. And I just want to let you know that I really, really appreciate you taking the time out. I know there are many things you could have been doing, many places you could have been, but I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out to come and help me deal with some of the issues so that we can help somebody else. So what we're going to start out with right now, and I want you to really, really begin to look at yourself and to look at the process that you've been going through over the years. How many of you in here right now really know who your father is? How many of you know who your father is? Raise your hands if you know him. Okay. How many of you have spent any time with your father? How many of you have never met your father? Never met him. Okay. How many of you have some anger against your father? Okay. How many of you in here really, really wish, honestly, that your father was in your life? Okay. So you can see we have a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. One of the things that I want to ask you right now, and that is that, how does it make you feel when your father doesn't communicate to you and he's pretty much close by? Is your father more than 60 miles away from you? Is he more than 60 miles away from you? How about 10 miles? Is anybody's father live in the same area? Incarcerated. Okay. If you could talk to your father right now, if you could say something to your father, what would you say? What would you tell your father right now? Okay, let's pass it back to, give us your name.
My name is Donnell Fountain, and I would ask my father face to face where he's been for the last 19 years of my life and why he haven't participated in no activities, school activities, why he haven't visited me. I mean, I would have a lifetime of things to ask him.
So how does it make you feel, and your name again?
Donnell.
Darnell. How does
Yes,
it make
sir.
you feel, Darnell, knowing that you're 19 years old? And have your father ever played a game with you?
No,
Have he ever bought you any clothing?
no,
Have he ever hugged you?
no,
Have he ever told you that he loved you?
no.
Okay. How does that make you feel when you think about that? That he never bought you any shoes, never done anything for you, but yet he said he's your father. How does it really make you feel?
It makes me feel broke down inside. I mean, I have a lot of anger knowing that he's my biological father, and he never bought me an outfit. He never bought me a jacket, a coat. He never bought me nothing. He never spent time with me. It made me feel heartbroken to see that my mom had a strong backbone. She was like my father to me. So basically, my father, if I could see him face to face now, I would, instead of me arguing with him and being violent with him, I would like to sit down and get to know him, have him to participate in my life.
And your name?
My name is Rufus Stevens.
Rufus Stevens.
Yes, sir. And I want to ask, Dad, if you had a chance to come back, would you be the man that you're supposed to be? And I want to say to all my brothers out there that is a man that got babies. The only way you can be a man if you stand up and handle your business with your lady and your kids that you got. Because you can't, only way a man can learn is from the next man who teaches him. And I want to say, oh man, from you not being here, I still learn from my mom and I still stand my ground and hold my foundation with my family, so I stand up as a man.
Okay. Anybody else? What would you tell your father up there to him?
My name is Frank Best, and I like to tell my father, I ain't mad at him. You know, I'm grown, I'm 26 now, but I wish he was in my life because I wouldn't have went through most of the stuff I've been through, and I'd have been through a lot. You know, but I would want to see him again, but it wouldn't really mean that to me because what could he do for me now? I'm a grown man, I'm 26. I'm handling my own. He missed out on my life since I was 9.
So you know what? When my mom told me that my father was 10 minutes away, but he was a lifetime apart, something almost snapped in my head. When I got 16 years old, playing football, lifting iron, doing all of this stuff, and really focused on being an athlete. Body got a little big, and I walked around, and my father, for the first time I met him, and I had to go see him then, I met him, and you know what he said? Look at my big old son. That's running around showing everybody and I snapped. I totally regurgitated on him, meaning that I got all of this stuff out. You haven't done this, you haven't done that. How dare you to say that you're my father? You ain't bought nothing for me, you was never there. I got it all out. And what I'm trying to do today is give you an opportunity to get it all out. So the pain is still there, but you still love your father.
Yeah, I still love my father. I'm always going to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't really care if he come back.
Okay.
Yeah, my name's Michael West, and still I have to say about my father, if I were to meet him, that I would have questions about who was wrong and who was right between breaking up with him and my mother and him leaving and leaving my mother alone with me, my sister, my brother. But I mean, as far as other things towards my father, it's too deep. I wouldn't have enough to say to him because it really isn't much for me to say to him. And because of his departing when I was young, it affects me emotionally sometimes at days.
How many in here are still angry with their father? Raise your hand high. Own it. I mean, still angry. I mean, you may have forgiven, but you're still angry. Okay. How many of you understand that anger can pass down to just about everything you do? A lot of fights, a lot of violence, and before you know it, you get yourself caught up in a whole lot of stuff. Or you look for your father in unauthorized organizations such as gang organizations and things of that nature. Can everybody agree? Is there sometimes you cling to anything that's going to make you feel like you belong? Okay. Talk to me.
My name is Dwayne Robinson, and I feel like sometimes you necessarily don't have to join a gang just because your father's not around. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it could be about peer pressure, because it's out there. For adolescent kids. It's out there for like young men our age, for us to go out and get into a gang. Well, you have to be that strong person just because my father's not around. My mama doing the best she can, and I have little brothers that look up to me. So I have to be the backbone of the family because my father, I'm trying to be the best father that I can be in the future because I have a 1-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. And my father lives in Houston, Texas. He never wrote me up. He never wrote me. He never gave me anything. So I try not to be the type of person of what my father is because I don't want to be like him. I want to be better than him.
My father, he was good to me, He was there when I was born. Like, he got caught up in the streets and got strung out on drugs and stuff. He left me when I was like 5. Then he tried to come back in my life when I was like 18, I ain't never even really kicked it with him like that. When I seen him, I ain't even recognize him. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't see him in the streets, and I didn't know that was my dad, and I can't see him in so long.
For my father again.
Yeah.
In other words, at 5, you saw him. And now you're looking for your father again, and you wouldn't even recognize him.
Couldn't even recognize him.
Well, that's exactly what I went through. And that's why we're doing this. Is because I didn't even know what my father looked like. Every man that I saw, is that my dad? Is that my dad?
Yeah.
So that's why it's critical to talk about it. And as a footnote, to the fathers that are hearing your son say these words, don't be mad. This is the stuff that they should have been talking about to you a long time ago. Don't get frustrated. Every last one of these young men up here love you. They just need you in their life. Stand up and be the man that you know you can be and get in their life so that they can get rid of the pain and the anguish that is in their life. Maybe your father left you and then come around you, and now you're passing it on to your son. Well, now we're in the process of breaking all of that, and that's why we're looking for our father again. Okay? Anyone else want to speak on that? What would you tell your father?
I want to ask him, why? What did I do to him for him not to be in my life?
What did you do to him for him not to be in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that make you feel with him not being in your life?
It made me feel angry, frustrated.
Explain that anger. What do you mean?
Sometimes it just make me wonder, knock him out or something. And I know I'm supposed to do it, but that's how I feel sometimes when I need a man in my life to talk to at times.
So you admit that you need a man in your life?
Yeah.
That you need a man to help you be a man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about you, son? You have anything you want to say to that? What would you say to your father? I want to try to get everybody in.
Well, my name was Avez, and I want to ask him why he wasn't there, because he don't stay far away. I stay in Coker, he stay in East St. Louis, and I just wouldn't even know what to say to him. Every time I see him once a year, and I just say hi to him, just like he's somebody on the street.
So how does it make you feel knowing that you've been through all of this and you don't need him anymore?
I feel fine because I get over it. I use sports and different stuff to take away the anger, play football.
So you do need it?
No.
You don't think you need your father? You're just in so much pain that you don't want to acknowledge that, right? And that's okay. You know, I'm 48 years old and I still need my father. You know why? It's because fathers tell you who you are. That's why they're critical to be in your life. And for you fathers that are watching, you need to know that you're the ones that set the pace for them, because fathers are progenitors. See, they're the ones that sets the pace for their sons, especially their sons and their daughters. So this is not about hating on fathers. This really is about loving fathers and telling fathers how important they are in your life. And you guys are doing a great job with this right now. See, the real test is that you may dislike your father. You may not like the thing that he's done. But the real test is that you don't become the man that you dislike the most. You don't become the man that you really haven't spent time with the most, because that's going to be your challenge. See, some things are passed on generationally. They're passed on spiritually. You're going to have a great fight to make sure that when you get angry, it's better to go outside, run, holler, scream, or whatever, rather than to stay in the house with the woman, because that's going to be your challenge until the day you die. Not to be like the man you say that you don't particularly care about. Tyrone is 48 years old, and his father's never been in his life. What would you tell your father if you had a chance to talk to your father?
I just tell him he's got 13 grandkids, and they all love him.
You got 13 grandkids, and they all love him. How does it make you feel knowing that your father hasn't been in your life for your whole life?
Well, just it's an empty spot, but it's been filled with many other things. My mom, friends, spiritual people guiding me. I've had my trips down the roads. You know, I've been in situations that you wouldn't believe. Actually, I've been to hell and back, but I am back, and I know not to go again. And I'm not gonna say I don't need my dad. I'd like to see him, but if I don't, I'm not gonna worry about it. I looked for him. I tried. I did all I can do. It's on him.
Looking for your father again.
I heard from my aunt. He got his name, last known address. So I got in the directory assistance, found this person that lives where they say this person lived, called him. A person answered the phone. So I just, let him know I wasn't the police, the FBI, the IRA. I was just asking if he might know this lady, my mom's name, from 48 years ago in Hannibal, Missouri. And he did, I could tell he did, but he didn't know what was going on. And no, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I've never been there before, and hung up. And that's the last time I called.
And how did it make you feel? So now that is even more rejection.
It answered one question. Does he really care? Nope.
The critical component about looking for your father again says this. Number one, as you've heard many of them said already, is that if you don't know what he looked like, how are you going to find him? And in my situation, I had no idea what he looked like. I didn't know if he was tall. I didn't know if he was short. I didn't know if he was fair complected or dark complected. I had no idea what my father looked like. All I remember was my mom telling me he loved wearing white shirts, white t-shirts. And she said that he was a nice guy, but I never met him. So when I was walking down the street, I'm wondering, is that's my dad, or is this my father? Or maybe that's him over there. I was looking for my father again. And the sad part about it, he was 10 minutes away, but a lifetime apart. There are some men that are hurting. There are some men that are still dealing with the pain. Oh, they may have children, but they're still dealing with the pain. They may come to church, but they're still dealing with the pain. And where's the pain? What is the pain? The pain is with their fathers. I strongly believe the reason why our prison system are filling up through the roof, and the reason why we have all this violence and all this chaos, is because men are having children and are not being responsible for their seed. Remember, a man has two roles. He was born to be either a father or a husband. He got two roles. He's going to play both of those roles if he's going to be a good man. He is also a progenitor. The word pro means to support. Genitor means generation. So he's supposed to support his generation. A man, the Bible says it this way, that a man is worse than an infidel if he don't take care of his own seed. He's worse than an infidel. How have your father really supported you? And if he has supported you, what was it? Mr. Nestor, why don't you speak to that?
Well, I'm from Panama, and my father was Jamaican. And my father's the type of guy that he only look about the girls. He don't care too much about the boys. So my brothers and I, we had to fight for our own. He reached the point sometimes that he should give a remarks like, I'm the rock in this house, and if anybody has to leave, it's you all. And you all mean my brother, that he left first, then me. But my father is the type of person that he used to help us out once in a while. Sometimes he forget about us. But I reached a point to myself, I said, my kids, I wouldn't be like my father always was with me. I would love my kids, the three of them, the same way. And that way, all of us have a tight relationship.
Okay, so father's from Jamaica. He want to be your father, but in the process of being your father, he's spending more time with the girls. He's loving more of the daughters. He don't want to hug his son. He don't want to spend no time with his son. He don't want to tell his son that, you know what, son, I really, really love you. I think you're an awesome young man. So the danger is that not only can your father be 10 minutes away and a lifetime apart, he can even be in the house and abandon you without spending time with you. So we're not just talking about fathers leaving and not returning. We're talking about fathers being at the home but don't take time out with the son. Talk to us about what you're planning on doing as far as being successful yourself.
Well, if I don't blow up in the rap game, I always got basketball and football, you know what I'm saying, to look after. And mostly for real, him being in my life towards successful stuff, got my moms and my cousins for that. Or mostly my uncles, for real. So all 16 years of my life, I really don't need him. For real.
You need him. And never forget that. You need him. It's just that right now you don't want him because of the pain. Is that okay? Okay. Now, as we close, I just want to thank you. Why don't you give yourselves a hand? I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort. And we'll probably be back. They bring you back here again to do some other things pertaining to the Father. And with that, we want to just thank the audience for being here with us today. And we want to thank you, those of you that are out there that are viewing this program. I want to let you know that we really gave you what we believe God had us to give you. And we trust God that you receive this word and receive this pain as we move forth in trying to find our fathers again. The true quest is to line yourself up with God. Let him father you. Let him be the mentor in your life, and you can be all that God intends for you to be. Looking for my Father again. Not just my earthly father, but my heavenly Father as well. God bless. Until next time.